Alright, everybody, welcome to the Faces of Fear podcast. I am, of course, your host, a radio jock DJ who only talks about Michael Myers and has fangirls on there wanting to hump Michael Myers, and crazy stalker kids talk about Michael Myers. Yet, when I go to the town where Michael Myers is, I want more money for my producer, J.K. Klein. And we have on the podcast today a boy who had a traumatic experience when he was growing up, and he came out to be the most creepiest, the most weirdest, the most awkward person I ever met in my life. Matt Shope is on the podcast today, brother. What's going on?
Thanks.
You like that introduction?
Yeah, I'm creepy.
Yeah, you're creepy, awkward,
stalker.
Yeah, you're a stalker. As you can tell, everybody, we are talking about Halloween 6, The Curse
of Michael Myers.
And this is our reviews on the Faces of Fear of the entire Halloween series. All right, we're doing the whole thing. And we're at number 6 right now. And of course, number 6 is the kind of like the 3-part trilogy,
right,
that we've been going to, of Michael Myers supposedly being in a cult, which is always fun.
After his niece, Jamie, yet again.
Yes.
But this time it doesn't end for her very well.
Yeah, which we'll get into, and it's pretty weird how that actually ended up. So, a little backstory when it comes to myself on this movie. This is actually my first horror movie I remember watching ever as a kid.
Wow.
Unless you count From Dusk Till Dawn. You know that one where they had the vampire? Kind of like a horror movie.
Yeah.
This is the only one I remember watching. I saw it on when they did that Halloween, the UPN. And I remember watching this movie, and it'd always be on. Like every Halloween, I've always checked out Halloween 6. So I always liked this movie, but I haven't watched it in a couple years, and I've watched it by watching the other ones, and it doesn't really hold up.
No.
But it still has its fun parts to it. So
it has its 90s charm.
Now, when it comes to a sequel, like, I don't think it really wrapped up the story too well, but yeah. It was kind of like out there if they're making it like that. I mean, it wasn't the worst one, but it definitely didn't wrap it up too well. So,
no.
Well, let's get a little bit into the Did You Know about Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. So, it opened to respectable $7.3 million on September 29th, 1995.
That's not bad.
Coming in second to New Line's cinema serial killer thriller 7. Remember 7?
Oh yeah,
that's a good movie.
Yeah,
I could see why it definitely didn't lost to 7. This wasn't as good as 7.
Oh God, but
so 1995 was a pretty crazy year. So this, we actually saw in this movie that the little dandy kid actually had a red Power Ranger toy, which I'm pretty sure I had the exact same one. So obviously the Power Rangers is pretty heavy during 1995.
Yeah, I think when it came out, probably around 92. The original series, I believe. I think it was 92 that Power Rangers came out. So this
it could have been 93.
93.
I don't know. I don't think it was that old by then, but maybe.
Yeah.
So Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, and the Thorn plotline would be rendered non-canon in succeeding installments. So, like basically the canon didn't put out, So we have coming up next is going to be Halloween H20 and Halloween Resurrection. So basically what this is saying is Halloween H20 and Halloween Resurrection are going to be not part of this plot line, but a reboot from the first two.
Yeah.
And that's what me and Matt were kind of talking about before we entered this podcast. It's weird how the Halloween series after 2 has been rebooted so many times.
Out of all the other horror films, it's kind of like that's the funniest thing is that you see the other horror films like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and all these other classic, series have gone on. Yes, they've become shitty, but they've all followed the same kind of like, this is what happened after this. This is what happened after this. This doesn't do that. It kind of jumps around a lot, starting especially after Halloween 3 into 4, 5, and 6.
Well, basically it just got rebooted a bunch of times.
Right.
Like Halloween 3 was a standalone thing.
Right.
Which technically you could kind of make it up like a reboot.
Yeah.
Obviously Halloween 4, 5, and 6 were its own thing, but they always correlate with the first two.
Yeah.
When we get into H2O, which is going to be part of our October, which is the October one. Actually, no. I got
September.
Yeah, skip a month. I'm waiting for that Halloween, brother.
I know. Come on, October.
H2O is going to be another reboot, and then I think H2O Resurrection might be the same thing, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen them back to back before.
Yeah, it is. I think they're connected too. Okay. Those two are connected.
So, and then after that, we got another reboot of the Rob Zombies, and pretty soon, coming in 2018, John Carpenter's doing another reboot.
Do you know who's also writing on that?
Who?
Danny McBride.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Can't beat that, everybody. Oh, it should be a classic then. So, okay. Let's see. Okay, so this is interesting. The 2001 Halloween comic book series, which I didn't even know they had, which doesn't surprise me because everything has a comic book series.
Yeah, I think they did it, yeah.
Published by Chaos Comics and based on Fernand's concept for the 8th Halloween film, attempts to bridge the continue between The Curse of Michael Myers and H2O 20 years later. So apparently the comic book series tried to connect those two movies. So everybody, if you guys seen that, I haven't read that before.
No,
I can't really comment on that. The 6th installment is known for its controversial behind-the-scenes history, suffering from reshoots demands by the Weinstein company, Weinstein. As well as numerous cuts and arrangements made in the editing room, which resulted in the cast and crew disowning the final version of release. Damn.
You can see, yeah.
You could definitely tell it too.
Yeah,
watching
that was
this.
cut out.
Oh boy. Like when I watched as a kid, I didn't know any of the Halloween films. I just liked all the craziness. But man, when you watch it back and you've been watching all the series in a row, you can definitely notice a lot of like missed opportunities.
Yeah, and jumping.
Yeah. Let's just say it doesn't hold up as well. The work print of the film, with 43 minutes of alternative footage, including a different ending, was eventually discovered by fans of the series. This version, dubbed the producer's cut, as it was the original intent version of the film, developed a strong cult following, with bootleg DVD copies sold on eBay and online petitions targeting for the official release of it. In 2014, the producer's cut was also released on the Blu-ray, which is the one that we have. Well, we didn't see the producer's cut. We should probably check that out.
Yeah.
So that would probably blow my mind, honestly, if I checked that out, because I was like, this movie, like, I remember watching it as a kid, like this version. And if I saw a new version that was better,
this was
we should do that. So what we'll do, guys, is if we can remember, which we probably will, maybe we'll do like an extra podcast of watching the alternate version.
Yeah.
So we'll check that out and see how that goes. Hopefully we'll remember. I'll put it on the bucket list.
Yeah.
Like, you know how we have to do it again? You know, the second part, maybe we'll do the second part of Halloween 6. So we'll budget it in somewhere in there. So let's see. Let's look at some production. All right.
Yeah. What was the mistakes that happened?
Yes. After less than big response to Halloween 5, which came out only a year after Halloween 4, producers Akaba put the series on hold to reevaluate its potential. He felt Halloween 5 had strayed too far from Halloween 4, and the box office response was much lower than expected. In 1990, screenwriter and longtime Halloween fan Danny Fernandez set out to write the 6th entry into the Halloween series. Fernandez gave his horror movie scripts to producers of Halloween 5, Ramsey Thompson. Impressed by his writing, Thomas set out a meeting for Fernandez with the executive producer Akaba, and then Fernandez described the meeting. I spent weeks preparing for the meeting and came in with a huge notebook filled with Halloween research. I had the entire series laid out in a timeline, a bio of every character, a family tree of the Myers and Strobe clans, as well as all the research I had compiled about the Seminoles, the Thorn Seminole that was briefly shown in Halloween 5. I then laid out how I thought all that might be explored in Halloween 6. Although the producers at the time had already sought to make a 6th Halloween film, a series of complicated legal battles ensured which delayed plans for a sequel. Eventually, Miramax Films, which was Viva, it's a Dimension Film division, bought the rights to the Halloween series. So let's go into a little bit of the writing. By 1994, several screenplays from different writers had been deemed insignificant. Fernandez has said his initial intent for Halloween 6 was to bridge the latter films 4 and 5 in the series of the earlier films 1 and 2, while at the same time taking the story into a new territory the series could expand for future installments. So you can kind of see that.
Yeah, you could. Bit.
Like they wanted to go more into like the Michael Myers was an occult thing, and I have something to talk about that when I'm done. The kind of my own little theory I came up with that relates to American Horror Story. So I'll tell you after I read this. So casting, obviously Donald Pleasance returned as Dr. Loomis, which this was, he was okay in this film. He didn't really do too much, but he wasn't like the whack out crazy doctor I thought he was.
Well, you could tell he was sick, and that he wasn't. From what it says, this might have been his last film.
Well, hold on. So according to Fernandez, I hope I'm saying that guy's name right. Whatever, fuck it. Pleasant loved the script for 6, however, and told me that he felt it was the best story since the original. I don't know about all that. Danielle Harris asked to reprise her role as Jamie Lloyd, but Dimension could not come to an agreement over her salary and ultimately did not want to play Danielle more than she received in Halloween 4. So they didn't want to pay her. So that's why Danielle Harris was on here as Jamie Lloyd. Harris herself admitted to not caring for the script and that upon meeting with director Joel Copeland, did not see eye to eye on things. She also stated that she did not like that Jamie would be killed in the beginning of the film, because her character was no longer important to the series. She ultimately opted out of reprising the role, and J.C. Brandy was cast instead. So that girl that played Jamie Lloyd, that was not really that good. J.C. Brandy. I kind of want to see what she did.
Yeah, that was kind of, yeah.
Hold on, let's see what this girl has done. This is always my favorite thing. Hopefully it's porn. So she's a British actress. Career. Oh, wow. She actually appeared in Star Trek The Next Generation, playing the role of Ensign Marty. Oh, fuck. All these Star Trek people are like, you fucking idiot. You don't know who that is? No.
You don't know how to say Star Trek names?
So, CSI, she was in CSI Investigation, What Lies Beneath. Let's see. Brandy is also a guitarist for Lowball, an all-woman rock band, as well as a songwriter who contributed to soundtracks of Legally Blonde and What Lies Beneath. So, yeah, she had that kind of career. Hey, gotta do
whatever.
What you gotta do.
Gotta do what you want to do, man. Go for it, girl.
So, let's see. The producers wanted Brian Andrews to reprise his role as Tommy Doyle. However, without an agent, they could not get in contact with Andrews. Too bad. They got Ant-Man instead.
They got Paul Rudd.
Can't beat that, brother. The leading female role, Kara, was given to Maureen Hagen. However, Hagen has since stated that Miramax did not favor her and made criticisms about her being too thin and her chin being too pointy. Oh my god, that's fucking awesome.
They're so fucking mean to people.
You have a too pointy of a chin.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're going to think about us when we start doing it. Matt, your beard's too red. Greg, your face is too sexy. Thank you.
Well, whatever. Yeah, sure.
For the role of Dr. Terrence Wynn, which we'll be talking about him, Michelle Ryan was cast. Originally, the director, Fernandez, originally urged the producers to cast Christopher Lee. Yeah.
That would have been fucking awesome.
That would have been awesome. Actually, for this role, that would have been
That would have been great for him. He would have
having the veteran horror actor in mind when writing the character. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Denise Richards also auditioned for a part of Beth, but the studio passed on her, giving the role to Maria O'Brien.
Denise Richards? Really?
Yeah. What was she in? Should we look her up?
Yeah. Does she have her name on there? Don't worry about it. She is
in Starship Troopers.
Yes, Denise Richards was married to Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
and she's married
she's
to.
in that Blue Mountain State.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she was in Blue Mountain State, and she was also in Wild Things with.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Stunt performer George P. Wilbur, who portrayed Michael in the fourth installment, reprised his role as the silent, unstoppable killer in the film. However, once reshoots took place, Wilbur was replaced by Michael Leiner, as director Joel Copeland found Wilbur too bulky. Really? That's like the opposite of what Michael... No, that's the opposite of what Rob Zombie was thinking.
Yeah. He wanted him huge.
Yeah, this resulted in continuous errors as the last third of the Myers features a slimmer Michael Myers. Hey, what are you going to do? Alright, so... Okay, let's get on to the filming, and then I'll get on to my theory, and then we'll get on to the movie. But we do need to look up one person.
Who's that?
Who played the dad. John.
Oh, that's right.
We gotta see if he's Biff or not from Back to the Future.
I don't think that's Biff. That's not Biff.
I'll try to find
it.
him.
Like Biff.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that, then we'll get into the movie, everybody. So Fred Walton, director of When Strangers Call and April Fool's Day, was originally attached to the direct Halloween 6, but dropped out. Filming started in October 1994 and was shot mostly in Salt Lake City, Utah. The city was experiencing an early winter at the time. Well, aren't they lucky? Which is pretty good because most of the other films, they had to create their own winter.
Yeah,
which
provides their own fall.
Well, actually, it said it provided troublesome for the production company. Producer Paul Freeman and director Campbell reportedly rewrote the ending on set. Damn. Even from shot to shot, as producer deadlines loomed large, Freeman also sent the crew home when critical scenes needed to be shot. Deleted script scenes, they rewrote dialogue and action sequences and assumed the responsibility of directing sound unit shots and the supervision of post-production of the original cut. These complications within the film's production resulted in Miramax taking control of the film and ordering many of the reworked sequences to be reshot. In early 1995, after filming and editing was completed, Halloween 6 was given a test screening by which, as described by actress Maureen Hagen, consisted primarily of 14-year-old boys. During the Q&A afterwards, one of them expressed great displeasure at the ending of the film, which entitled A Celtic Ritual and the Passing On of the Curse of Thorn to Dr. Loomis's character.
The Celtic curse.
The Celtic Ritual and the Passing of a Curse to Thorn to Dr. Loomis's character. That's interesting. I don't think we saw that part.
No.
As a result, the audience disapproved towards the film final. The movie was rushed back into production, this time without Donald Pleasant, who died on February 12th, 1995. Rest in peace. Some violent footage was also edited out for fear of NC-17 rating. This includes several extra seconds of Jamie being implanted on the drill, with more blood pouring from her mouth and extra close-ups of the drill going through her body. That'd be cool. The other major edits scene involved Michael's ramming the doctor's head through the bars in the hospital until his head is grossly mashed through the pumps of his skull and hit on the floor. So...
Yeah, but it could have gone with doing that. I mean, probably would have...
Not really. During this time, a lot of stuff got cut out.
Really
cut. I mean, obviously, we can see it kind of now.
Now, if you see, or with the reshoots, you understand that this was all reshot. Like, they had to go back and reshoot major scenes over again, especially, the whole entire ending. They had to reshoot that. Do you think that coming up with a lot of films now that are being reshot, like Justice League, and apparently the new Star Wars film is being reshot, do you think that can...
Well, how reshoots mostly take place is by how they did it, where they have a screening, and people kind of say, what they liked and they didn't like, and they kind of go from there sometimes.
I don't think these two are coming from that point. I think the people who were doing them did not like it. Or not the production and the people who were putting forth money to make it did not like it, and are now wanting, Joss Whedon has taken over for whatever his name is. I can't think of his name, but since his daughter died, he's taking over, and he says that a lot of news that has come out that he said that the Justice League that he saw that was put together by the previous director was unwatchable. And now the reason why he's doing all these reshoots that cost a shit. I mean, this movie probably cost a couple of $1,000 or, maybe $1 million extra to reshoot the ending of it. We're talking about a multi-million-dollar film.
Yeah, something.
To redo all those things over again. So it's just kind of like, and we've seen what reshoots can do and that they haven't really damaged the film. Like Rogue One was reshot. But I don't think it damaged the film at all. I think it still held up and it didn't seem like it was cut up really bad.
Yeah.
But this film, you could tell, was horribly cut up. The editing in this was not done well. You could actually tell that there was even two different kinds of filming styles.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it also, too, like, first half of the movie seemed like different than the second half of the movie.
Right, yeah.
So before we get into this, I'm going to give my theory, this little extra thing. So, this film's original title was going to be
What?
Halloween 666, The Origin of Michael Myers. Which, according to the director, Daniel, it came before an official title had been decided, and that the trailer title was a combination of an earlier script titled The Origins of Michael Myers by another writer, and Daniel's original script titled Halloween 666. At one point, executive producer Akaba asked Daniel for a title, who suggested The Curse of Michael Myers due to the troubled production. So, and then after a while, because Daniel, he was just joking.
Yeah.
But Akaba took it to heart and he was like, hey, that's going to be a good title and let's just go with that. So, all right, everybody, here's my theory really quick.
Okay, go for it.
Now, we obviously have, by the time this comes out, I'm pretty sure we won't, American Horror Story is coming out in September. Mm-hmm. And I'm putting this out in August. So, the new American Horror Story is supposed to be entitled Cult.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
And there was rumors of this series actually, one of the episodes or maybe multiple, I'm not sure, actually being taking place in Haddonfield.
Oh,
really?
So,
yes. So now that I'm thinking, and actually too, I think I saw a picture that I might have seen the symbol that they had, all these pagan symbols.
Yeah, the thorn.
Yeah, the thorn and a couple other ones in one of Ryan Murphy's posts.
Oh.
So
okay.
what I'm thinking is, I think this cult that's in these Halloween movies is going to be in the new American Horror Story season. I think they're in season 8. I'm not sure. Wow. Or season 7.
Already that far along?
There might be 7. I'm not really sure. Yeah. I think it's 7. So that's my theory, everybody. Because we did hear earlier reports, if you guys have been following along with the Killer Instant podcast, you should, about Halloween, or the town of Haddonfield being in the new season. That would make sense because they're going to be doing a season about cult, and obviously if they revert to these movies, like maybe they're giving them a shout out, we could see some more action from the cult style of the Halloween series in American Horror Story season 7.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because I mean, if you see some of the videos are out there, like all the cults look like a clown cult and stuff, but hey, maybe this cult is part of it. So,
yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But everybody, if I'm right, that's another thing I'd be right about.
That's another thing.
Among many, many, many things. All right, everybody, let's get into Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Little Mikey Myers that lived across the street. And that's when the voice came. The night he murdered his sister. It told him to kill his family.
Michael Myers. Look, anyone, help me. Dr. Loomis, are you out there? Can you hear me, Dr. Loomis? I need your help. Michael Myers.
What the hell is going on tonight?
Is everything all right?
Of course, this thing that lived inside of him came from a source too violent, too deadly for you to imagine.
It grew inside him, contaminating his soul. It was pure evil, evil, evil.
Halloween 666.
The origins of
The origins of Michael Myers. Or whatever. Who cares?
All right, everybody. We start off the film with a screaming girl says, "Stop it, Mike."
Yeah, we have like a little flash.
Yeah, stop it, Mike. Please don't hurt me. And this girl's freaking out. She's screaming throughout the whole fucking trailer, basically. And they're actually rowing her through.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Rolling. Yeah,
they're rolling her through a fucking nurse cult area. Like it goes from a nurse or like a hospital.
Yeah, to a
cult chamber.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny.
And in this, you could tell that they took a lot from Jacob's Ladder. I don't think you've ever seen Jacob's Ladder, but it's the first one to ever use the kind of like hallway, like how they do that shot where you're going down a hallway and you're looking at the ceiling and there's kind of like flashing and stuff like that.
I like the shot there.
That's Jacob's Ladder was the first film to actually use that kind of imagery. And from then on, a lot of horror films have used that imagery to show like insanity or drugged up or whatever.
Well, this one showed a girl being giving birth to a bunch of cult people. So let's see what happened. Yeah. So we have I like it how we have a bunch of dudes in black robes, and then we have one nurse that looks normal delivering the baby. And she does, and this girl says, "Please give me the baby." We find out this girl is obviously Jamie Lloyd. She is grown up and she's been knocked up. Grown up and knocked. There you go. That kind of rhymes. So we see the a shadow guy in the back, the same shadow guy from Halloween 5.
Who broke out Michael Myers.
Exactly.
Out of jail.
Yes. So obviously Jamie kind of knows what's going on, and she's a little freaking out. So while this is happening, we get a voice telling us the whole Michael Myers backstory about why he killed his sister. He's crazy. He is pure evil. You can't stop evil. You can't incarnate evil. Evil is evil. And then we're not talking about evil from New Japan. We're talking about evil of Michael Myers and how you can't stop him. His rage. So we always get this Michael Myers backstory, you know?
Every time. Every film. Yeah.
Now this unlike the other 4 and 5, they don't really like. You know how? So you know how 4 kind of was right after number 2, and then 4, and then number 5 was right after number 4.
Right,
this one didn't really have like a bridge between it.
Oh yeah, that's because they show like the because they would show the cut up of what happened in the previous film.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they didn't do that with this.
They didn't show the previous films in this one.
Yeah, so that trend has now died.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna do a whole Phantom Mouse. Phantom Mouse did the whole series round. I was like,
yeah,
crazy.
Phantom. Yeah, well, that's because they actually linked them together. This was linked very loosely and not even at all at certain points.
So eventually, the nurse gives the baby to the Jamie girl. And she's like, "Hey, you need to get the fuck out of here." I guess she felt bad of being a cult nurse.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe she just like, hey, maybe the cult people was like, hey, ma'am, listen. We're going to take care of some of your debt, and we're going to bring you in here to deliver this baby. Don't ask any questions.
Don't ask any fucking weird questions.
And then she started asking questions.
Yeah. So she started seeing the upside-down crosses and pentagrams.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, I fucked up.
I shouldn't have been doing this.
So eventually, Jamie runs away, and the church, the cult nurse looks around. She says, Jamie. That's how we find her.
Yeah, we hear like these sounds of walking.
And then we get the cool scene of Michael Myers choking the bitch and smashing her against the wall.
Yeah, her head goes through a spike.
And I remember watching that when I was a kid, and I was like, I think I'm going to like this movie. Because it's crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Jamie runs away, and she's running for a long time. She runs in the rain. And one of my favorite parts, Michael's following her, obviously, at this time. Yeah. One of my favorite parts, we see this worker guy, and he basically Jamie jumps into his truck, and he's like, get out of my truck. What? I was like, this guy's an Austin fan?
Yeah, what?
And he's drinking a beer and everything, long thing, and then Michael just comes over and snaps the fuck out of him. I think he kind of like ripped his face over. No,
yeah, kind of turned his head around and snapped it, and it looked kind of like it came off.
Yeah, so we got 2 deaths already. Hey, the film's going good so far. Okay, so Jamie, and then she rides off.
Yeah.
She's
taking the truck. She's taking the truck. That's
so we see this house and it's for sale, and then we look up and we can kind of tell, hey, this is probably the Myers house. So we get this kid. and he's having like these little like flashbacks of Michael Myers, and he kind of freaks up and he wakes up, and his name is Danny because the mom comes in, and the Danny guy is saying like, hey, the voice man is trying to contact me, and the mom, which you find out her name is Kara. She is saying like, when she just thinks the kid's having a nightmare. And basically the best part.
But you do see like this kind of like this guy in black sitting in the corner of the room.
So basically what we get in this scene, we get product placement of the red Power Ranger.
Right.
And so obviously at this time the Green Ranger hasn't appeared yet because that would have been his choice.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite Power Ranger?
The Green Ranger.
What about the white one?
I like evil characters.
Yeah, there you go. Well, he turned good.
Yeah, I like them when they turn good. And they're like, oh, they got an edge to them. Tommy had an edge to him.
Well, he was the white one too.
Well, he wasn't edgy when he was the White Ranger.
Okay, whatever. They're both good. All right, so... Okay, so this is the funny part. So we get the mom now, Kara. And she's listening to like this DJ guy.
It's like an Art Bell slash...
We find out the guy's name is Barry, but I didn't really get his fucking radio station. And they're saying that the town of Haddonfield has banned Halloween since 1989. All right, so I'm pretty sure they didn't really say when this film was going on, but maybe it had to be around maybe 1995. Maybe.
Yeah.
I guess they were going for that time frame. I'm not really sure. Okay, so this is when we get this like woman saying like she's like in love with Michael Myers, like she wants to have like sexual relationships with him.
Yeah.
And the DJ guy's like, oh, who the hell do you want to fuck next? Dahmer and stuff.
Bundy.
And I was like, oh boy, we got one of them fucking marks on here now. Yeah. Oh boy, here we go. Serial killer Mark on here. That actually wasn't that like a thing going on for a while?
Yeah.
Where like people, like girls would get horny about that, like killers and shit.
About Bundy, yeah, for sure. Yeah. About Bundy.
Creepy
and they
shit,
were
bro.
from Manson, kind of. There was an odd thing for Manson.
So, this is when we first get Creeper. I wrote Billy, but his name was actually Tommy.
It's Tommy.
Creeper Tommy. Yeah. Tommy, obviously, when you look at this guy, we find out he was the Tommy from the first movie. Film. He was the boy that Jamie was babysitting. No, not Jamie. What's her name?
Oh,
Lori.
Yeah,
my bad. Lori.
Yeah, it kind of gets confusing because her name is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, my bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody out there, they know what I mean. So Tommy, he's creeping, and he tells... So Tommy calls up the station. And in the most creepiest voice I've ever heard in my life, if I was listening to this, I was like, this guy doesn't get any poontang. He's a creeper. He probably is killing people himself. He tells the story about Michael Myers and how much... everybody better be ready. Michael has done all this crazy stuff, and he's come back, and I will stop him. And it's like, oh boy, this guy.
But the funniest thing is that when I hear his voice, I can't get the lines out of two films, out of Ant-Man, and out of Anchorman and Anchorman 2.
Yeah, so it's like a
when the I'm just like expecting some kind of crazy shit to come out of his mouth. But the thing is, he's trying to be serious, but I can't take him seriously. I just look at him like he's fucking nuts in this film.
It's funny when a comedy actor is like doing a serious thing, but this is like what he first started off with. Like serious thing. I mean, granted, hey, you know what? The guy, he did a good job of playing Tom. He played a great job of being creepy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Very good job. All right, so during
Better than Vince Vaughn as fucking Norman Bates.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so then now we get Loomis. Loomis is old as shit, and he's also listening to the same radio program. All right? And then Loomis, he gets a visit from the doctor, who's in the first film, who's Dr. Wind.
Yeah.
When he was the doctor that was in control of the hospital that Michael Myers was taken out, the one he escaped from in the first time. He was the leader. All right, so then we get another scene that we see Jamie. She's driving to a bus stop. And then she gets out of the bus stop, and we hear the same... apparently, this town loves this guy's radio station. Cause
they're all listening to it.
It's so annoying. This radio guy was so annoying. Like, I would turn this shit off. Like, he ain't no Howard Stern. He doesn't have girls having orgasms. No, they're just talking about Michael Myers, and all these fucking chicks want to bang him. And then we got this creeper
No,
on
he
here.
was he was the one that was having orgasms apparently on that fucking van that was driving around town.
Yeah, that's true. He was. That hasn't happened yet, but you're right about that. All right, so this is when Jamie she tries to call the police, but the police didn't answer because the weather was too bad. Are you serious?
That's stupid.
That's fucking dumb. And then basically the guy from radio said, hey, everybody call my phone number. Jamie calls. She freaks out. Loomis, she calls for Loomis. All right. And Loomis hears it. Basically, that's what happened. But, actually, I forgot about it. Before that, the Dr. Wynn is trying to get Loomis to come back to work with him. Yeah. And Loomis doesn't want to. He wants to get out of the medicine thing.
He says he's retired. He's not doing it again.
And then the Wayne guy is like, oh, Michael's dead. And he's like, oh, Michael could never be dead. Loomis is crazy already. And that's when he hears Jamie saying, I need Dr. Loomis. And then Loomis is like, oh, shit.
She's back.
And then obviously, and then Tommy, because, Tommy, he knows what's going on. He gets a boner right away. He's like, oh, fuck. There's some shit going on here. I better creep something out. All right. So during all this, all right, Michael arrives at the bus stop. Jamie knows this. She leaves. She goes to the bathroom. We get the whole creepy bathroom scene.
Which amounted to nothing.
Well, you know what? Those scenes always work, though. Like, we had to incorporate that scene sometime into a movie.
Yeah.
You get a person in a stall, and you get Michael looking through all the stalls, and then you think he's going to get the one that she's in, and they're not there. Because she escaped through the window, and now she's back in the truck. But what happens? Michael follows her in his creepy van. How did he get this van? Fucking knows. It's Michael Myers' brother.
Are there still bathrooms that have multiple stalls like that still?
Yeah.
No, that's a women's bathroom. That probably
of course they all do.
So we're going to go into a women's bathroom?
Well, don't get all excited over there, man. Shit, brother. Of course, you weirdo. But are you trying to be Tommy? Well, I guess I called you Tommy. Already creeping out to everybody already. Women's bathroom and shit. Oh, my God. All right, so during all this melee, when Mike's over here freaking wanking it, probably, Michael catches up with Jamie and he cuts her off. All right, and then this is when we get the whole Jamie is now at a farm. And I thought it was the farm from Halloween 5. Because remember in Halloween 5, the two little teenagers that are fucking, they got all killed by Michael Myers. It looked like the same place. So, hey, maybe that's a callback to Halloween 5. Jamie's all walking around stuff. She kind of sees Michael from a corner of her eye.
Tries to
hide, and then boom. But then she steps on hay. Michael hears her, grabs her, and throws her onto the fucking forklift. She says, you can never have the baby. Michael kills her.
Yeah.
And that's the end of Jamie Lloyd.
I think they were trying to there was one moment where he Michael Myers kind of she's on the spikes or whatever, and she's kind of reaching out to him, and he kind of reaches back. She says, you will never have the baby, and it kind of looks like he's about to have another one of those sentimental moments with her, like in 5 and 4. One of those two, he had kind of a moment where he stopped and was like, oh, but then he shoves her. But I don't think those people actually thought that far ahead into it. This was cut up so badly. It was...
Yeah, they're just fuck it, whatever we get. It's can we just have donuts after this, Sean? Okay, so this is when we get some angry motherfucker. He pulls down a sign and says, you fucking kids are ruining Halloween and shit. And he takes away the sign because they have a for sale sign that had Michael Myers on it.
What was the line? Do you remember what the line was? I'm tired of this Michael Myers bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much.
And cuts it down.
Yeah. So then we get a scene of saying now we're in Halloween time, obviously, and now it's Haddonfield.
Yeah, we're back in Haddonfield again.
Yeah, so then we get to Kara saying something about her son. Great. She doesn't want her son to be a gang member. I was like, okay. It's fucking random. That's a random 9. We get this whole 90s family. We have the mom. Her name is Deborah.
Who looks like everybody's 3rd grade teacher.
You know what she kind of reminded me of? Peggy Bundy.
Oh, Peggy?
No. I'm thinking King of the Hill. What's the wife from King of the Hill? Wasn't it Peggy?
Yeah, Peggy Hill.
Peggy Hill. She looked like Peggy. She looked exactly like her. All right. Shout out to King of the Hill. So the mom. Okay, so basically, Kara is wanting to get back into school, All right, and she wants to get an education so her and Danny can move out.
Was it
But the dad, the guy's a total asshole. He's like, you just show up for fucking after 5 years. All right, bringing this fucking kid. We'll get to that. He said, bringing this 5 years. Do you think college is gonna be any good for you? All right, and then they kind of look over. The mom gives her some cash, and dad's pissed. He's like, why don't we just give you all the fucking money? And then this is when the dad was all like, listen, you came over here after 5 years and shit, bringing that fucking bastard. And then that's when Danny gets all pissed off. The whole family gets all pissed off. By the way, they have a brother that came in there called Tim too. He's the one with
Tim.
he looked total 90s.
Total 90s kid, man.
And then after all this, the Danny puts a knife to John's, which is the bitch dad.
Yeah.
And then they all break it up.
Yeah, and he kind of has this.
Yes. So the dad, his name is John. Now, every time me, you, and even Cody, who stopped by here for a little bit, looked at this guy, we thought he was the guy from
Back to the Future.
Yeah,
Biff from Back to the Future.
Here's who this guy was. His name is Bradful English.
Ooh.
He's an American actor who was starred in films and on movies. Starred in film. Okay. I don't know why I did. He's best known. So this is what he's best known for in the horror film. For his role in 1990 for this movie. He's best known for this movie, Halloween 5, The Curse of Michael Myers, as John Strode. Yeah. His first movie role was in 1971 movie The Andersons Tapes, and he was also starred in 1979 movie The Onion Field. All right, so he's also done Different Strokes, The A-Team, Alien Nation, 21 Jump Street, and Brooklyn South. So he's not Biff, basically.
No.
He's just some guy. But he played great at being a total asshole. He's like one of those. So obviously you could tell this family has an abusive dad, and everybody is kind of like, fuck this guy. So during this
classic 90s shit.
Yeah. So during all this, also too, he slapped his daughter.
Yeah, it makes her nose bleed.
Yeah, my bad. I get everything all mixed up now. So before the kid pulls the knife on John, after he called the kid a bastard, Kara said the only bastard here is you. That's when he slapped her. That's when the kid pulled the knife. And they eventually get the knife away. And this is when we get Beth at the door, and she wants to talk to Tim because they need to organize the supposed Halloween event going on, but they can't really call it that because Halloween is banned. Mm-hmm. And then she sees Kara crying, and she's like, oh, this is another day at the Strode house. So we find out they're part of the Strode family.
Yeah.
Okay.
The family that adopted Lori, which it would be like, I think down the family line, if they explained it right, is Lori's adopted families.
Well, actually, it might have been
uncles. It's like her uncle and aunt.
I think it might. Yeah, I think it might have been her uncle because remember the dad. Okay, there is a part that ties it together.
Yeah.
So this family was, the dad of Jamie Lloyd. This was the dad's brother. Mm-hmm. That's the family.
Yeah.
So that's the part. Yeah, because they do kind of explain that in like a very quick scene. If you don't catch it, you won't get it. All right, so during all this stuff, Loomis and Wind go to the hospital, and they want to check about. Loomis, since Loomis heard his name on the radio and everything from that girl, they want to check about Michael Myers, and they're like, "Oh, Michael Myers is back. We just found Jamie Lloyd's body," and of course he's freaking out now.
Dun.
So then we got we got Beth, we got Tim, and we got Kara in the car, and they're looking over at Tommy, who's just blatantly staring out the window like some sort. Like this Tommy guy doesn't care if he's a creeper. Like he'll just do it. He'll just like I don't care if I am.
He's laying on the window.
Yeah.
He's not even making himself concealed in any way.
Yeah, you can see him like dead on, no problem.
And his mother is downstairs.
He's like, I'm a peeping Tom. Oh, by the way, he did that too. He was peeping on Kara.
Yeah, he was watching her undress.
That's what he does.
Yeah, it's his thing. With a camera.
So Tommy's listening to the tape, and he realized, oh, sure, I should go to this bus stop. So he arrives at the bus stop. He's crazy. He's like, did somebody from this town come in? And they're like, no. And he's like, freaks out. And so then he goes to the telephone booth, and he's the only one that found that there's random blood all in this telephone booth leading all the way to the bathroom. You kidding me? You talking about this place has been open for a couple hours and the janitor or nothing didn't find no random blood? Just our wonderful superhero creepy Tommy.
It finds blood, and it finds blood all the way down to the bathroom.
What is he, a detective now? This guy.
Apparently he likes to creep and do in
This part was stupid. Okay,
Yeah.
that part was stupid. And then he eventually finds the baby, and he finds the baby in some like closet or like some shelf, some dresser. And then oh boy. Okay, so we get some 90s music playing, and it literally sounded like this. Dun 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 dun. I'm gonna try to find this song. Dun dun dun. Shit is going on. Like dun dun dun. Oh boy. And we got Tim, Kara, and Beth. They're all going to school. Kara's of course a nerd. She can't keep up anything. Tim's like, hey, we gotta go organize this event that's going on. And then after all this, Kara's dropping her books, and they look and they see Danny has been drawing pictures of the family getting stabbed in that symbol that we saw on Michael Myers' arm, the thorn symbol. And then she's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Great. I got one of those kids now.
And then Tim makes a Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Comment.
Tim was like, hey, that's cool. I was like, oh, boy, this fucking guy. You know what? I might have used that line when I was in 1995, so I can't really hate on him. So that's how it goes. Okay. So Tommy, he's creeping around still, and he goes to the... So Tommy arrives at a hospital. He's like, my baby's in trouble. The lady's like, oh, your baby's in trouble? He's like, yeah, I need a nurse right now. He's like, okay, well, let me call. No, I need a fucking doctor right now. And he storms off.
Biggest fucking freak.
Holy shit.
That walked into this.
And he just randomly walks into Loomis, of course. He recognized Loomis.
Dr. Loomis.
He's like, Dr. Loomis. He's like, who are you? My name's Tommy. He's like, I don't know if I know a Tommy. He's like, I'm Tommy. I was the one who got babysitted by Lori.
Yeah.
And he's all like, oh, yes, I remember you. I was like, oh, boy, did they what a meeting. We had a meeting of the minds. Both of them are whacked out of their minds already. How the fuck did these guys go up against Michael Myers?
Didn't they discuss Michael Myers? He's returned, hasn't he?
Yeah, then they go into the whole Michael Myers thing, and like, oh, yes, he's come back.
Oh. Just insanity from both ends.
Yeah. So he basically, after all this happens, the guy, Tommy realizes like, oh shit, okay. So Loomis brings up that Jamie Lloyd has died. Tommy freaks out. Tommy's then's like, oh shit, Kara and her whole fucking family, they're Strohs. They moved into the Michael Myers house. I gotta go warn them. The cop, the fucking nurse police show up.
Yeah.
Tommy's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta get the fuck out of here. He's like, can you go meet me at 9:00 tonight at the town event?
He also tells him like that the baby is Jamie's.
Yeah, the baby is, and Loomis doesn't believe it at first.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because Loomis is the one that's wacko.
Because Loomis is like, all the family line is dead, and he goes, not all of them, and he points down to the baby.
Yeah, pretty much. So then after this, all right, then this is when we get the mom. All right, and she the whole point of this is like she feels like she's being watched, and she finally gets the dryer, and there's nothing in the dryer. Okay.
Well, there is something in the dryer. It looks like a towel or a stuffed animal.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's broken. The electricity, I guess, doesn't work on it, or doesn't work. That's right. The electricity doesn't work because she tries to turn it back on, but she can't. And the water spills out from behind the washer machine, and so she has to bring all the laundry upstairs.
Yeah, and then during this too, we also get Danny. He's walking, and this kid, sees this is when he hears the van of the orgasms. Then he sees a creepy black guy in another van, and then Tommy pops in front of him. This kid has no luck, bro.
Not a black guy, but the dude in a black jacket.
Yeah, not a black guy. A guy that's all dressed in black, like a black, robe and everything, mask, my favorite, he had a top hat on.
Yeah.
He kind of looked like the witch doctor, but without the cool mask.
You remember he also looked like the guys from Dark City.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Maybe he's part of that clan. They all mixed together. But I like how they all had vans. Michael has a scary van.
Yeah.
His radio guy has a fucking molester van. And then he has a van too. Everybody has vans for this creepy Danny. But who runs it to him? Creepy Tommy.
when he drops and Danny drops the pumpkin, and like supposed to be reminiscence of when Tommy broke the pumpkin. Remember when those kids were fucking with him?
Yeah.
And he drops the pumpkin.
Yeah.
And
good that did. Shit.
yeah, and he's like, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Fucking hey, man.
So during all this stuff, the mom, Deborah, she gets scared, and eventually Loomis runs into her. And then Loomis, of course, tells
how do
her.
you get in the house?
I honestly, like, when Loomis scared her, I was like, she was like she wasn't even that freaked out. Like,
No,
it was
no.
crazy. Like, I would have been like, how the fuck did you get in my house, you crazy nut? And
Someone lost their grandfather.
Yeah, so I was like, shit. Yeah, did you come from the crazy home?
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, so Loomis is telling her the whole story about Michael Myers, evil, blah, the same spiel he does every fucking movie.
Yeah.
Eventually, Deborah calls John, tells her, what the, well.
Yeah,
she's
why?
real nice. She's like, this guy named Loomis said everything. This is the Michael Myers house. You didn't tell us the fucking serial killer lived here and shit.
Yeah.
And John's like, oh, it's gone now. Like, don't worry about it. She's like, I was wondering why you got this house from your brother for so cheap and everything. You fucking bastard. I'm about to head out of here. I think somebody's watching us. He's like, you're just going crazy. I don't even know who this guy is.
He's
You know
like,
what I mean?
don't you leave me.
Yeah, don't you leave me. And then he hangs up the phone and he takes a drink. So that's when we find out this is Laurie's dad's brother.
Right, yeah. We have the connection.
Yeah,
like,
so there's a connection there. Which, like, he can't be a really good brother because, like,
he's shitty. Yeah,
like,
that's not a good brother.
Like, wouldn't the brother tell him everything that...
Happened?
Well, maybe... Okay.
No, he told him.
He probably told
He
him.
told his brother, but his brother was the one that...
He just didn't listen.
No. He listened. It's just that he wanted a cheap house.
Yeah.
So he decided to take the house that the murder...
Yeah, that makes sense. Because he did look like a failing business guy.
Right, exactly. Who drinks liquor, hard liquor at work.
Yeah, so Kara is now home. She can't get inside. All right? Okay, I forgot something. So apparently, we kind of skipped this part a little bit, but Deborah ends up dying. She sees an axe, and she goes to do the washer thing. The axe is gone. She freaks out. She tries to leave, but Michael Myers kills her.
Yeah.
I accidentally pushed the button. We didn't get to see that, but
but we all know that she died from axe killing. So
that's when Kara comes home, tries to get in, can't get inside.
Yep.
Looks for around, asks for her mom, doesn't find her. She actually goes up into her room, and bam, who's there? Creepy Tommy with Danny. She's like, why the fuck are you in my house? She's like, and Tommy's like, Danny's like, he's my new friend. I was like, oh god, what a fucking friend to have. And Tommy's here with the baby.
All about dinosaurs.
Yeah. Tommy's like saying, like, listen, you gotta watch your house. You can watch your house from my house from this fucking telescope I have that stares into your room only. Bro, this guy. Listen, okay, you know what? Are you guys serious with this fucking guy? This guy, like, how he is so whacked out. He almost takes the cake for the most whacked out person.
He makes me look good, like, and whacked out. Them. I mean,
this guy is. Oh, fuck. Okay, so they eventually go to his house. This Kara girl, she must be easy or something, bro. Just getting up in his house.
She's like, sure, why not? You were the guy that was creeping on me.
Yeah.
Looking at me through, how the hell do I'm not sure that you're not the one that killed my fucking family.
So during this whole thing, the Kara girl thinks she's like, this is all insane, what's going on, but then Tommy gives her this whole spiel about Michael Myers is still around, the Jamie Lloyd girl is dead. Look, I've been researching all the symbols, and all these symbols, they're from a pagan race. They do sacrifices on every Halloween, and on and on and on about this, like, the whole backstory, basically what this 3-part series is about.
And on Halloween, there's going to be the symbol in the sky. He was showing that astrologically there was going to be you were going to be able to see the star constellation of the Thorn. And that was supposed to show up on Halloween, and it was going to be the moment. I guess it was supposed to show that there is a link to, that they must do something to during this time or whatever.
Yes,
we're kind of like putting together that, they have to kill the baby on that night.
Yeah, so basically, Michael is looking for this baby to kill on this night to appease this ritual on his gods.
Yeah.
the god. They actually said the god's name. I forgot the guy's name, but this god, Azuzu. Yes,
No,
he
it
likes.
wasn't Azuzu.
What the fuck? I don't remember his name, but this certain god that they were talking about, he likes death and sacrifices.
Yeah.
And that's why Michael Myers is doing all this, because he heard the voice of this god, and that's who the person is now inside him to do these sacrifices on these certain days. So they kind of, the whole reason for Michael Myers killing on Halloween is because of this god that put voices in his head to kill for that reason. So that's what this series, this 3-part series, have now told us about Michael Myers. So what do you think about the whole cult god theory?
If it was handled better, it would have been all right. I could have understood it.
Like if this is redone for like a good director, I think they could have made a cool story about it. All right, so during all this stuff, Danny's gone, of course, but he's with the grandma. Tommy wants to leave because he needs to go meet Loomis, and Kara stays there. All right, so the grandma is now telling all of us about the history of Halloween. And then we see this why Tommy's obviously being creepy again, walking through this party. And then the mom's going on about
he looks like he's on drugs because everybody's.
Yeah. So the grandma, the whole gist of this was basically saying we all dress costumes to scare away the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, I guess, yeah, because it's all about scaring away spirits.
Yeah.
And the ultimate spirit is the boogeyman.
Yeah. On Sam Howe.
Yes, and then she's and she's, there you go. And yes, on Sam Howe. And then she's also says to Kara, like, hey, he hears the voices. He's like, he reminds me of a young Mikey Myers who also heard voices the night before he killed his family. It's like, fuck, this old lady's nuts. Yeah. So we get the guy in the dressed in all black. He's around. My bad. Okay, let me go
I think
back.
we skipped ahead, yeah.
No. So after, so we get, this is when we get Tim and, we get
Tim and Meg.
Yeah.
Meg?
No, Tim and Beth.
Beth.
This is when we get Tim and Beth, and they're all dressed up, and we get this guy who's all dressed, kind of like how the guy that was all dressed in the black clothes was, but it's not. This guy strips down. He basically looks like he has like blonde hair and a little stash going on. And he's the DJ guy, Barry. And the whole festivities have started because Barry has arrived.
He looks like a meth addict.
Yes. So this is, John comes home. And he's looking for Deborah.
The lights are out.
Lights are out. He can't find Deborah. And he's like,
drunk as fuck.
Yeah, he's probably a little drunk. He did run over the sign again. And then this is when he finally says, I think she left.
Yeah.
He goes downstairs because he hears the washing machine. Looks in the washing machine. There's a sheet with blood all over it. He freaks out. Michael Myers grabs him, picks him all the way up. I think he used like a knife or something to like get him up, and then he bashes his head against the electric cord, and then eventually
blows his head up.
Yeah. Then of course it ain't like a 90s or 80s film. We had to have one explosion, and that is John's head. So there goes the asshole John, which was a pretty good character to kill because everybody hated him at the beginning of the film.
Right.
So he's dead. The whole house is crazy. Okay, so we get this part. Oh boy, this is funny. So we get Beth. And she is dressed up kind of like
Frankenstein's bride.
And we got Tim dressed up as Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And they're on stage talking to Barry. And Beth is going on saying, why Halloween should return to Haddonfield, and why the Michael Myers case is dead. Michael Myers is dead. Everything should be fine. There's no curse of this town. There's no kind of curse going on. She's like, hey, look, Tim over here, he even lives at the Michael Myers house.
Bop, bop.
But before this, the radio guy, Barry, is all like, man, bro, this is not PC at all.
No.
He says in a group of crowd, if somebody said this in a crowd nowadays, they would probably get lynched and torched and killed.
Yeah.
For saying what he said. He said, damn, this girl is feisty. Does she have crotchless panties? And is she like this in the sack? Holy shit, bro. This is definitely in the 90s. He said this in a crowd of people.
Yeah.
Bro, if that happened
a bunch of SJWs would fucking jump up and lynch his ass.
Bro, if that happened now, he would have been like lynched, destroyed. His Facebook account would have been blown up. His Twitter gone.
Blown up.
Destroyed, bro. This guy would have been destroyed. Yeah. And then Tim took it, man. He was like, oh, fuck. She is kind of like that, actually.
Yeah.
So then this is when, that's when Beth's like, yeah, he lives in the Michael Myers house, Tim. And then the radio guy's like, he lives in the Michael Myers house. We'll be back, and we're going to be live from the Michael Myers house. And then Bear's like, all right, we're going to go there. And then they're like, kind of like, I don't think my parents are going to like that. He's like, screw it, kid, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then he leaves.
We can't leave the thing. And she says we can't leave the thing. He's like, we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah. So we get him. He's talking to his agent, saying, why the fuck did you bring me out to this redneck town and shit? All these fucking marks everywhere. He kind of, you know what he reminded me of? He kind of reminded me of like a bitter wrestling promoter.
Yeah.
All these marks around here ain't coming over here. Shit, they ain't giving me any money. I'm going to be a big time pretty soon. I don't know, I'm going to go to this Michael Myers house. I'm going to have all these fangirls want to suck my dick or something. You know, he's going off and stuff. He's like, then he says Michael Myers a pussy.
Yeah.
What happens? Michael Myers shows up, stabs him to fucking death.
Mm-hmm. And, yep.
Yes. So he's gone. Okay. So we're back at, so Beth and Tim arrive at the Myers house.
Right.
Tim apologizes for Barry, saying how much of an asshole he was. And then Tim asks Beth, like, it was all that true about being in the Michael Myers house. And Beth, she is so horny right now. It's not even funny. And I made the comment was, this girl, like, has a lifetime subscription to murder porn.
Oh, God, yes.
Because anything of
Where
murder...
can I meet these women? I need to meet
you got to
these
be in Hattonfield, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, I got to
They're all in Hattonfield, brother. This girl is super horny. She's all like... She explains all the deaths in the first movie about how Michael came to the house and killed the brother and everything. Tim's getting a little freaked out, but he probably wants some pussy, so he doesn't really care that much.
He sees that she's starting to take off her clothes.
He's like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll bang this corny bitch. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it's like. So then, this is one of my favorite scenes of the movie. We get this little girl, and she's saying, it's raining. Mommy, it's raining. It's raining red. And this is when
it's
Tommy,
warm.
Yeah, Tommy shows up, and then he's like, oh, it's raining red, it's warm. Tommy looks up, and it's the dead fucking DJ spilling red shit all over this princess girl.
Bleeding on her.
Yeah, bleeding. Oh, such a fucking good.
And it falls out of the tree.
And it falls out of the tree. She runs away. Loomis shows up, and they both look. And then he's like, Michael Myers is back. Oh my God.
It would have been so nasty if it was something else that was falling on her. Ew, it's so warm. I had that in my mind. I was like, oh, I can't think about that. That's awful.
Oh, God.
But that came into my head when I heard that.
All right, so this is when I was going to do my whole sex spiel, but they got done already. So we have...
It was...
They didn't even do anything. There's no humping anything.
It was like... Yeah, they didn't even show that. I guess they had to cut that for the censors, too.
Yes. So we got Beth and Tim. They're in the bed. There's candlelight everywhere. My style. And they're in Kara's bed. And Beth brings it up.
Why don't you go to your own fucking room and fuck?
Because her room has the extra sheets, bro. It has the silk sheets.
No. What it was apparently that's the room where Michael Myers killed
his sister.
Yeah,
okay.
And she wants to have sex in that room.
Yeah.
She does like murder porn. Holy crap.
Oh, she does. Really? Oh, come on, man. All right, so after all this, Tim needs to go take a shower. All right, and then the way he was taking a shower was so weird at first. Like he had his head stuck. You ever take a shower like that where you have your head just like up,
I don't have any hair.
Bro, that was weird. I have hair. I don't even do that shit.
Yeah, that was. And he's singing to himself.
Yeah. So during all this, he's like, he gets out. Okay, good. So during all this stuff, he gets out. He needs a towel. Okay. And he's like, Beth, can you give me a towel? He gets a towel, but it's Michael Myers. How did Michael Myers get?
Stupid.
Michael Myers is like he's a transporter. How did he get from the park to all the way over there? Let's just say he had more than an Uber. Maybe he took a taxi.
Nonetheless, how he got there. That is just serial killer.
But giving him
kind
the
of
towel?
thing. Okay, but giving him the towel was the worst gag I have ever seen in a fucking horror movie. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was expecting him to get like his head driven in, like into the shower, you know?
Yeah.
But no, Michael Myers hands him a towel and then waits for him to get out of the towel.
It was awesome. So he makes for him to get out, and he gets out. And the guy's, getting all freshened up and everything. Michael comes behind him and slits his throat. During all this, Kara sees that there's somebody in a room. She calls her, asking to see who it is. Beth answers the phone. Jamie's all like, where's Tim? And Beth's kind of like, how come this bitch ain't asking why I just had sex in her room? It's like, I could see you guys through the window and stuff. You gotta get out.
Yeah.
There could be Michael Myers is there. And she's like, what? What's going on? And then eventually Michael Myers gets there and he stabs the shit out of her.
Right.
While Kara screams.
And watches.
And then after she looks, takes down the phone to go there, she sees Danny, of course, walking into the house.
Yeah.
Of course. So
it's gonna be the death of you.
Yeah, so Kara gets into the house. All right. She grabs a weapon, kind of one of those weapons you get from a fire.
Yeah, fire poker.
She looks into that room. She finds Tim and Beth dead in her bed.
She knows her dad. I don't know why she walked over there and decided to lift the sheet.
She was walking up. The mom pops out from the ceiling right in front of her. She's scared. She runs away. Michael Myers is behind her. So Tommy shows up to the house with Loomis now. All right. They're at the stairs now. Kara finds Dandy, but then Michael Myers shows up, so they run. They're up to the stairs. Kara knocks down Michael Myers from the stairs. They did the whole gimmick where they think Michael Myers is dead, but he's not. He gets up, and then they run out. All right, and then they run back to Tommy's house, and Tommy is there with Loomis, and now we got Kara and Dandy, and Tommy had one job during this whole thing. They help the baby. Baby's gone. He's like, where's the baby?
He fucked up.
So everybody's there now. And then we got the man in black now has Dandy at the house.
Do you keep calling... His name is Danny, but you keep calling him Dandy.
Dandy, whatever the fuck his name is. The little blonde kid that was knowing it. That didn't do shit during this whole movie, too. He's supposed to be like next to Michael Myers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another plot hole that they didn't even explain.
So this guy, the guy all dressed in black, we decided he's actually from the Court of Owls.
Yep.
Batman reference.
Yep.
And all his court members came to kidnap everybody. All right. And Kara tried to get away. And she runs in and she finds out that the grandma was in on it. The crazy fucking grandma was in on it the whole time.
She's a cult member.
The granny is a cult member and she had the baby. And then Kara couldn't take this. You know what she does? She jumps out of
the window.
a 2-story house window, falls down, and she's still apparently alive.
Can't take this. So she jumps out a window.
She felt so betrayed from this old grandma who called her kid a Michael Myers killer and told her all these creepy stories. Jesus Christ, people, come on.
I wouldn't be so surprised to be like, I fucking knew it. You are a fucking weirdo.
So after all this happens, Tommy and Loomis talk to each other. They're like, why did the court of... Well, they didn't say that. They said, why did they leave us alive? And Loomis is like, this is his game. I was like, so you're telling me Michael Myers has connection to all these Court of Owl guys? What is he, Ra's al Ghul or something? I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, and then the big reveal was the Dr. Wynn from the first movie is the leader of the cult.
Yeah.
He's the leader. He was the man in black the whole time.
Yep.
Which is funny because he kind of looked kind of like a bigger guy, and this guy that was all dressed in black kind of looked a little skinny. So.
Yeah, and short.
So yeah, so that was always fun. So Kara wakes up. She is now in Smith Grove Sanitarium, which is where that's like their hiding place. That was where Jamie had her baby and everything.
Right.
That's like half nurse, half cult room.
Right.
Place. So Loomis and Tommy show up. Okay? And remember, the court now has Danny, whatever the fuck is the kid, Dandy.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the baby, which the baby is now named Steve from Tommy, and they have Kara.
This is so stupid.
So
This got stupid so fast.
Loomis and Tommy show up. Loomis, who could barely... Okay, my favorite part was Loomis, who could barely walk, says, Tommy, wait here, and then he slowly walks to the fucking doctor's room. Loomis confronts Wynn, asks him why, and the Wynn's answer was, because you diagnosed it at first, but you found pure evil, and now that we know what pure evil is, pure unadulterated evil. This guy's like fucking like... Damn, bro,
Yeah.
Calm down. He's like gonna have an orgasm about evil. So basically, this court, they want to make more evil people because it's rich people stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy rich
power.
people. Yeah, they want power and all this kind of stuff. So Loomis is about to shoot him, but then one of the cult guys knocks him out. Mm-hmm. What he also called him, my favorite line that a superhero can do to a villain. You're a madman.
Every time.
Yeah, no shit, every time. And then also too, Wynn also asked to join him before he knocked him out. So Tommy doesn't stay placed. He actually goes looking around. First, he finds this crazy woman that looks like she got was like a pregnant or something, and she was all like, you know, see, it's just kind of like evil walks among us, and brother is now angry. So I guess they have like some sort of bond with Michael Myers that they know he's angry or something. Okay, I think I know this girl that Tommy ran into was given birth to a baby so the baby could turn into Michael Myers, who is pure evil.
But it didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work out for her. So that's what they're trying to do with this new baby, Steve. Mm-hmm. Turn him into pure evil, like Michael Myers, because they want to have pure evil, and they want to take Michael Myers as pure evil, and they want to put it in this new kid, so the kid or the person can now become pure evil like Michael Myers, and they can use it. This cult can use it to their advantage. Now you think they're in cahoots with Michael, but they're not.
But not.
So Tommy,
another plot hole that doesn't make sense.
So Tommy tries to break Kara 3 for the door once he finds her. And this is when we get the part where Michael shows up, and then Tommy does like the funniest expressions while he's like laughing a little bit. Like he actually does a pretty good job here of like looking very nervous and like happy nervous. Yeah. If that makes sense. So Michael Myers is so slow in this film. Like he's fast like getting to places, but actually killing he's like slow as shit. He takes like an hour to walk over there. Tommy breaks Kara free. They escape. They go through a little gate.
Yeah.
Michael Myers grabs her hair. Tommy finds a gun, shoots him, and they're off. And now we got a big old chase scene going on. Okay, so yeah, this is when Tommy and Kara, they go see all the cult people, which are all doctors.
Yeah, and nurses.
Randomly. Okay, and they're all doing a little conversation. The Wynn guy is all dressed in red, and they're all about to do an operation on the baby. Tommy and Kara see this. They see the baby, and then they see Danny in there too.
And Kara screams, "Danny!" And
then Steve calms her down.
Tommy.
Tommy, my bad. Calms her down. Michael Myers comes in. Michael Myers obviously finds a knife. He hears a noise for a second. And then he goes into the room. He starts slaughtering all the cult members.
Yeah, for no reason.
No reason. They're not in cahoots. It's okay. You know that whole storyline with well, this is gonna go everybody's over here. Okay, I don't really know where the storyline came from. I don't know if they were supposed to be in cahoots with Michael Myers or not.
It seemed like it.
Why would he kill the leader? None of that shit made sense.
No.
Because Michael Myers has the symbol on his hand.
Right. And they're the ones and he's standing there with the cult members in the beginning of the film when they're drawing that symbol on Steve the first time.
Was he there?
Yeah. Okay. He was standing there next to the baby.
Okay, I have no idea what's going on now.
It was.
So maybe Michael Myers was like, you know what, fuck, I haven't killed anything in like 30 minutes. You fuckers are dead.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
I haven't killed anything.
Yeah. So he's just like, all right, I can kill him. So he kills everybody up. So Danny gets away, of course, and he runs into Tom and Kara, and they're all running, and now Doctor's running too, and they're all running to this cool-looking hallway. That shot was cool. They get in, they find a gate, they shut the gate. The Doctor's like, oh, you fuckers. Like, he had to be thinking, it's saying help. Michael crushes this guy's skull in. It could have been cooler if they were allowed to do cooler stuff, but it looked good, though.
Yeah.
They escape. All right? Now they have to get away from Michael Myers. All right, so they go into this room with a bunch of dead fetus babies everywhere, of course. And these were the failed experiments from the Klan. So they all hide in there.
From the Klan, from the cult.
The cult of Owls.
Klan.
What the fuck were they? I don't know.
They're from the they're failed. I guess they were failed
cult members.
Yeah, cult babies.
So this is when we get Tommy. He's saying, Michael, you won. He's about to hand over Steve. Michael's about to take him, and then he realizes the baby's not in his arms, and then Tommy puts green goo. It reminded me of that goo from Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
but it's actually supposed to be poison. Does nothing to Michael Myers. He knocks him down. Kara comes up, tries to knock him with the fucking pipe. Does nothing.
Yeah, grabs
her. He grabs her, chokes her out. I thought he was gonna kill the girl, but then Danny screams, and then Michael tries to go to her, and what stops him? Two little a tight hallway.
Two metal little look like drums of whatever.
Yeah.
It stopped him. He's trying to reach and get to him.
Yeah, and he almost gets to the Danny and the baby, but he doesn't. Tommy comes in, knocks him with the fucking did you see what he had, like a bat or something?
Like a pipe.
I got like a pipe, knocking Myers down. Loomis shows up randomly. Where the fuck was he?
I
thought he was knocked out. He just shows up. Shows up, takes Carrie and everybody out, the baby and everybody else leaves, and then you get Tommy going nuts on this guy.
Yeah, just whacking him.
I like how he was whacking Michael, and there was just green goo that came from Michael's head. This is dumb. This is dumb. I remember watching it as a kid. I thought this was cool, but now I'm watching it now. It's like sucks.
So dumb.
Oh my god.
And
I actually liked Halloween 5. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was
this one. I don't know about this.
Terrible.
This one just had so much shit. Maybe we got to watch that remake. We'll be like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, maybe that will make more sense to us than this.
So basically, it ends up Tommy and his whole crew now is like, "Are you coming with us, Doctor?" And Doctor's like, "No, I have business to take care of here."
Which is a blatant showing that whatever they were filming was cut up.
Yeah.
Like, whatever the original ending was to this film was cut out.
Well, remember, one of the endings was Dr. Loomis taking over. He's being evil. Which, imagine him being Michael Myers. You kidding me? This old fucker, he can barely even walk around. How the fuck is he going to be evil? Oh, my God. So, at the end of this movie, we see Michael Myers' mask, but the mask, Michael Myers is gone. And then we see a random pumpkin on the Michael's house, and that's it. So, Halloween 6... very treasured movie when I was a kid. Not so much now. Not my favorite Halloween.
At all.
It was so out there. Everything was out there. Like, there's... what?
Plot holes that you could stick your fucking foot through.
Yeah.
It was just...
like, okay, so Michael wasn't in cahoots, but he was in cahoots. But then he wasn't in cahoots. But then he wasn't in cahoots. We got Tommy, the total creeper. This guy he got locked this motherfucker up.
The one dude that's apparently supposed to be the hero of the movie is the one that's so fucking weird throughout the song.
What about the Jamie Lloyd? She was like the biggest thing for like all the movies, and now she just died, no problem. I thought she had some sort of connection with Michael Myers or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do later on, we're actually going to watch these deleted scenes to see if it's like a new movie. And then we'll comment it. Maybe what we'll do, Matt, is we'll watch the deleted scenes from this movie and mix it in with our H2O.
Right. Okay.
One.
Okay.
So maybe this will save this one. So that's what we'll do. So September, we'll be watching the deleted scenes from Halloween 6 Curse of Michael Myers. See if it's like a different film. And then we'll watch H2O. Okay. Which, if H2O is better than this film, my God.
This was the worst, I think, so far.
I don't know, man. I heard Resurrection. Like, I think that might be the
Resurrection was pretty bad too.
Because I remember some from Resurrection, and it's still worse than this. Which is that takes talent to be worse than this film. But we'll see. Hey, we'll revisit it, man. Maybe it's good now.
Yeah.
So what's left in our Halloween series is we have H2O coming in September, Resurrection coming in October, and November we're going to be doing Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, because Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 is in our archives, which you guys can find on the Podbeam app, Stitcher Radio app, and iTunes. And of course, you can download all of our shows live and free from our Facebook, the Killer Instinct Podcast. And I hope you guys liked this month of August, where we had a Killer Instinct Podcast doing the Comic-Con trailer breakdowns. We had me and Cody Walker going over Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. We had Matt and Cody and myself going over all the new horror movies coming out. And we had the Cody Walker talking about all the new Marvel and DC, kind of catching everybody up on the new movies and what's going on in the comic book world. So check this out in the archives. And of course, You guys witnessed our 100th episode of the Killer Instant Podcast, our review of Masters of the Universe, our live action first ever review. So go check that out. You can find that on all the channels I just talked about. Plus, you can find it on our YouTube channel, MSK Sketch Comedy. So, for the Bloodbeard Matchup, I'm JK Klein. We will see you next time.
Do you know why we celebrate Halloween? Long, long time ago, it was a night of great power. When the days grew short, and the spirits of the dead returned to their homes to warm themselves by the fireside. All across the land, huge bonfires were lit, hoping to ward off the evil spirits, especially the boogeyman.
For 6 years, the town of Haddonfield has tried to forget. They believed Michael Myers was dead.
Michael Myers is long gone. There is no boogeyman.
But now he's come back, and the secret behind his murderous ways will be revealed.
You can't have the baby, Michael. You can't have the baby.
Michael Myers has come back to Haddonfield to kill.
From Dimension Films comes the return of pure evil. Halloween, the curse of Michael Myers.
Tommy!
Evil, pure, uncorrupted, ancient.
Among the most successful series of horror films in history, Halloween has always kept its finger on the pulse of true fear and again brings terror to life.
What I try to do with Halloween is go back to giving it a sense of style and giving the whole movie a sense of air of menace. It's just the way it's put together, and it's all psychological, and so to me it's a very scary thing.
The late veteran actor Donald Pleasance returns for his last role as Dr. Loomis, the character he created for the Halloween series.
He's in retirement, living in a cottage away in the depths of the country. I hear little Jamie crying for help.
Help me, Dr. Loomis, are you out there? It's Michael. Michael Myers.
And so I go out into the night in search of Michael Myers.
Fresh from the hit film Clueless, Paul Rudd is Tommy Doyle, a character with a special link to the Halloween legacy.
My character, Tommy, comes from the first film. And Jamie Lee Curtis was babysitting this little kid. Tommy Doyle.
Tommy Doyle.
Was only 8 years old when I saw him. And I was one of the lucky ones. I survived.
In the role of Kara, Mary Ann Hagen must protect her young son from Michael's murderous instincts.
Evil is lurking, and it is there, and sometimes you see it, and sometimes you don't, but it can get you.
What makes you think he'll come back here? This house is sacred to him. He has all his memories here. His rage. It grew inside him, contaminating his soul.
John, something terrible has happened. He's come in the room. He's behind her. She doesn't see him.
And he told me about the terrible things that happened here in our house.
That whole scene gives me goosebumps. I mean, it's so scary.
The success of the Halloween series is based on the whole Michael Myers character, which is, he is the boogeyman. You can't talk to him. You can't deal with him. He just wants to get you.
Well, that killer in the mask, Michael Myers, is wreaking mayhem again as he's chased by his arch nemesis in the latest Halloween horror movie. But this installment marks a sad milestone because in real life, it proved to be the last hurrah for a true legend of the silver screen.
It's a very exciting story. It will give you shivers up your spine. It will terrify the life out of you.
Since the first Halloween and 3 of its sequels, the late Donald Pleasance doggedly pursued the inventive, resilient, and thoroughly evil Michael Myers.
Michael Myers has come back to Haddonfield to kill.
Though the filmmakers didn't know it at the time, the 6th installment sadly marks the final heroics of Donald's intrepid character, Dr. Loomis.
Dr. Loomis, the bogey chaser, the man who has pursued Michael Myers through 5 films and shot him at least 10 times with no success. I've come back to get him once again.
What makes you he'll come back here? This house is sacred to him. He has all his memories here. His rage.
Rolling. Mark.
This time around, Pleasance teams up with Marianne Hagan, who was elated to be paired with the veteran actor.
When I found out that I was doing this with Donald Pleasance, I was so blown away because he is a legend. There's no other word for him. And immediately felt, I'm not worthy to wash your costume socks, let alone to act with you.
But for Hagan and her co-stars, being chased or butchered by Myers wasn't as frightening as it's cracked up to be.
That was a blast, actually. Being chased by Michael Myers through the house. It was very fun. I had to act all scared and everything, but inside I was giggling.
Look out, there's someone in the room. He's right behind you.
You're scared, I could tell. The people that are making the real killing on these movies are the producers. There have been 6 of these movies. Combined, they've cost less than $20 million. They have earned $200 million.
Oh, man.
Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers is in theaters now.
Okay, well, from